Hello everyone, my name is Rakesh, and today is our day 6 of Google Cloud Foundational Learning Series. So, in today's session, we are going to learn about what is instance group and then what are the different type of instance group available, and then what's the benefit of using instance group. And at the end of this session, I will also show you how we can actually create the instance group on Google Cloud Console. Okay, let's go ahead and start with first. What is instance group? So, instance group is nothing but a collection of VM that you manage single-handedly. So, what that means is, so all the VM that are part of instance group, it will manage together. So, so before instance group, you have to manage one instance at a time. Like you have to manage single instance. So, in the instance group, you will manage all the instance together. So, there are two types of instance group. So first is, as you can see, managed instance group, and another one is unmanaged instance group. So managed instance group means it is a collection of VM, or there is a multiple VM will be present in the instance group. However, all the instance will be a same type, or it will be identical. So what it actually means is, so whatever the VM that are part of the MIG or managed instance group will be same configuration. For example, it will be having same machine type, or it will be using same OS, or it could be having same startup script. So, so managed instance group, whatever the VM that are part of MIG will be of same type. So on the other hand, of unmanaged instance group, it is a collection of VM. However, all the VMs is different from one another. Let's say one VM is using T2 micro machine type. So another instance will be using some other OS. So all the VMs that are part of unmanaged instance group will be of different type. Now let's see what are the benefits MIG offers. So to start with, first one is high availability. So in that, it provides automatically repairing failed VMs. So what does it mean? So it means, let's say in your MIG you have three VMs, and due to some reason one of the VM got either deleted or corrupted. So what MIG will do in this case, it will automatically create one more VM, because based on your original configuration you should have three VM in your MIG. So it will create one more VM. The next one is application based auto healing. So what does it support? So you can set up application based on health checks. So you can set up some health checks based on the applications. So what does it mean? So it will periodically verify your application, and let's say your application is not responding to that. So it means MIG will think your VM is corrupted or either deleted. So it will automatically create new VM. The third one is regional multiple zone coverage. So what it means? So your instance that are part of MIG, it will be in multiple regions, or it will be in the multiple zone. Let's say you have one region called US Central 1. In that you have four zones: 1A, 1B, 1C, and 1D. So multiple zones means if you have created a VM in one region and it supports multiple zones as well. Even you can have like either regional or zonal as well. Let's say you have created MIG and you want to have VM in only one zone only, not in whole region. So in that case also you can have that. But but the catch is, if you have your VM in specific zone, and due to some reason, if that zone is not able to serve the traffic, or if there are any issues in the zone, so it will affect your VM as well. So mostly we suggest using regional, or at least you have two zones in VM, so that if one zone has some issues, at least the VM in the second zone works fine. And next one is load balancing. So MIG also supports load balancer. So you can have MIG instance in the load balancing, so which can be useful for traffic, distributing the traffic. Scalability means you can automatically grow the number of instances that are part of MIG. So in that you can either select how many instances you want. Let's say you can have two numbers, like what is the minimum number of instance you want and what is the maximum number of instance you want. So let's say in your MIG you made a configuration like this. One should be the minimum instance, and based on some filter, you want to increase the instance till 5 or 10. So you can do that. So that's called scalability. And the next one is automated updates. So in MIG, let's say your VMs are there and you want to update it. So it can be done automatically. You don't have to manually go ahead and update all the instance. So yeah, there are different type of things you can do. Like you can have canary updates, or if you want rolling base updates, so you can also do that. So these are all the benefits of using managed instance group. Now let's see what is unmanaged instance group. So as in the beginning I have told you about what is unmanaged instance group. So it is like, it is a set of VMs that are part of instance group. However, all the instance of a different type. It's not all same, or like even not a one VM will be same as the other one. As the definition also suggests here, unmanaged instance group can contain heterogeneous instance. That means it will be different instance and the configuration will be different for each instance. And unmanaged instance group do not offer auto scaling, auto healing, rolling update support, multi-zone support, or use of instance template, and are not good fit for deploying highly available and scalable workloads. So as I've told you, like it will not support auto scaling because all the instance of a different type. So how we can make sure like this instance, if one instance is down, and how we can create the another instance, or how the unmanaged instance group will create another instance. So it will not support auto scaling, auto healing, all the feature that managed instance group support. So mostly unmanaged instance group is used in the like dev environment. It never used in production, because production require the instance to be highly available, highly scalable. So these things does not followed by unmanaged instance group. So mostly this is used in a VM, like which is part of Kia or dev environment. Now let's see what is instance template and why it is required. Because let's say you are trying to create MIGs of similar type of instance, but how you gonna make sure that configuration remains the same for all the VMs that are part of MIG. So for that we use instant template. So instant template is something that where we actually store, or where we actually create the configuration that will be used for all the VMs. As the definition suggests here, an instance template is a convenient way to save a virtual machine instance configuration that include machine type, like what will be the machine type, what is the image, disk image we are going to use, what is the OS, or if you want to use some specific labels or startup script or any other properties we want to use. So what instance template will do, like first we need to create an instance template where we need to specify all the configuration that VM will be requiring. So so using instance template will be creating all the configuration, and once that is created, then using the instance template we can create the MIGs. So it is used for creating individual VMs, creating VMs in MIGs, and creating reservations on VM. So using instance template we can do this. So the next step is like how we can create the instance template. So I'll be showing this in demo rather than like explaining this in theory. So I feel like if I show this in Google console, how we can create the instance template and what are the configuration we can add there, and then once the instance template is created, using that how we can create the MIG. So I can show that in demo. So I think we can move to the demo part. Okay, now we have completed our theory part, where I've explained you about what is instance group, what are different type of instance groups such as managed and unmanaged instance group, what are the benefits of using managed instance group versus unmanaged instance group. And at the end, I've shown you how we can create instance template and why actually it is needed. So now I'll show you everything in Google Cloud Console, and how actually we can create instance template, and with that how we can create instance group, and how all those benefits which MIG provides, how actually it works. So I'm going to show you everything about on that. So as you can see, I've already logged into Google Cloud Console. So first step would be to create instance template. To create an instance group, it should have an instance template created first. So we'll create the instance template first. So you need to click on compute engine. You don't need to click, just hover the mouse over there and then click on instance template. Okay, so as you can see, instance template is opened. Click on create instance template. Okay, so fill out the details, like what is the instance template name. So we'll say first instance template, and then either you can select regional or global. So in our case, we'll keep it as regional, and region I have selected US Central 1, and we have to select the machine type. So yeah, based on these machine type, all the instances that will be part of managed instance group will have the same type of machine type. So we'll keep it as E2, and then E2 medium is the one we are using, and we'll keep other things same, like the image is Debian Linux 12, and we'll keep other things as it is. One more thing we'll update, we'll allow this HTTP traffic. And one last thing we'll update, we'll keep the networking and other thing as it is, like we'll use the default network that is available. So we'll keep it as the default network. One last thing we'll add a startup script. So we'll try to make this VM, the VM that are part of MIG, to a web instance. So we'll add those details or the configuration in the startup script. So I've already have a startup script written here. So we'll add this. So it will make it as a Nginx web server. So these are all those details I've added here. It will install Apache and all this. And other things, we'll keep it as it is for now. And we'll click on create. Okay, it's already there. It's already been completed. So as I've just, we can just review the basic information that we have created. So the name of the instance template, and we haven't added labels or like that. Location is US Central 1. E2 medium is a machine type. And then network interface is default one we are using. Debian 12 is the boot disk. And at the end, we have added a startup script. So yeah, this is the script that we have added. Now we'll create an instance group using this template. Either you can create here, like you can click on create instance group, or if you want, we can go here instance group and we can create it as well. So click on create instance group, fill out the detail, first instance group. In template, you have to select the instance template that you have created previously. So click on that. So yeah, location is it's asking like if you want the instance to be in single zone or multiple zone. So we'll select multiple zone here. So the region, as we already selected, US Central 1, and so it has 4 zones. So we'll only have 3 zones to be selected. Like I'll only select 3 zones. Target distribution step is even, or if you want to use balanced. So even means distribute the managed instance evenly across zones. Balance means distribute the managed instances evenly as possible across zones, given availability of resource in each zone. So we'll keep it as even. So this is the main part, auto scaling. which supports high availability and all those stuff. So yeah, this is the importance of in auto scaling mode. So we can have the options. On means add and remove instance to the group. Scale out means only add instance to the group. Or last option, do not auto scale. So first one is like, let's say if your instance is down or uh, corrupted, it will remove the instance and it will add the new instance. And the next one, scale out, it's only instance to be added. It will not remove the instance from that instance group. And the last one, it will not auto scale. So we want to auto scale this. So as you can see, minimum number of instance we want is 1. Let's say we'll change that to 2. And maximum number of instance, let's say we want 5. So it's asking like based on what parameter or filter you want to increase this instance count. So here it's like CPU utilization to 60%. So you can also, if you want to change this, you can change that to like if you want to have 80, 90. So you can keep it anything like that. So we'll keep this as 50 for now. And we'll click on done. So based on CPU utilization, so let's say whenever the CPU utilization goes to 50 or above, it will automatically increase the count of VM in your instance group, or it will create those VM. So by default, you will have 2 instances already running. But if your CPU utilization goes above 50, so it will automatically increase one more instance. So like that, it will go till 5 because we have maximum number of instances 5, so it will not go beyond that. So we'll keep other things as it is for now. So here also there is one option if you want to keep the same instance configuration or update the instance configuration. So we want to keep the instance as the same configuration. Let's say if any VM got deleted or got corrupted, if the new instance is getting created by MIG, it should have same configuration what we previously had. We'll keep everything as it is now and we'll click on create. Okay, our first instance group is now created. As you can see, everything is in green. First instance group is the name, 2 instance, and it is using this template. Now let's see if our 2 VMs are created or not. So we'll click on VM instances. So as you can see, the 2 VMs are created, which it is created by MIG because we have added the configuration in such a way that minimum should be 2 instance and maximum 5. Now let's test something. As we have mentioned in our configuration that minimum would be 2 instance and maximum would be 5 instance, but only instance will be increases when the CPU is more than 50. So let's just try to manually just try to increase the CPU to more than 50s and to see if the third instance is getting created or not, or our MIG auto scaling is working or not. So let's try to log into this. So we'll try to log in on the both the servers, both the VMs. I've already have a basic code which eventually increase the CPU size or CPU. So as you can see, the CPU is now 99 and here it's 100. So yeah, both the CPU is like more than 100 now. Let's see if it creates the new VM or not. Now you can see that like 3 more instances are getting started. Why? Because both the VMs is utilizing CPU more than 100%. That's the reason 3 more instance is spinned up and it will be ready. So now as you can see that our auto scaling worked in this case. So this is the benefit of using MIG, because let's say if you are running some workloads in your production VMs, and due to some activity or due to some scenario, if your load is increased on your VM and you want to have more VMs scaled with same configuration, so you can use MIG for that purpose. So now as you can see that all 5 instances have been created. This is because both the instances were utilizing more than 100%. So this is how managed instance group work and auto scaling work. Now let's see how we can create unmanaged instance group. So for unmanaged instance group, you don't have to create instance template, because instance template is mostly when your configuration is same. So it is used for MIG. And for uh, unmanaged instance group, you have to manually create the VMs and add that to unmanaged instance group. So let's start, and we can create couple of VMs quickly. I'll try to keep the configuration same or default. So let's say U let's say UM1. So this is our first instance. We'll keep this in central one, and let's say for this we'll use, let's say we use N1. N1 standard, we'll keep it as N1 standard, and we'll keep all other things as default, and we'll click on create. And we'll click create one more instance. It's UM unmanaged 2, and for this we'll use E2, because for the first one we used N1, and for this we'll use E2. Click on create. So both the instances are getting ready. Meanwhile, we'll click on instance group and try to create unmanaged instance group. So click on create instance group. Unmanaged instance group. Okay, we need to select here new unmanaged instance group. I'll keep the network location as it is, network as default, and click on create. Okay, I think we missed one thing. We missed to add our VMs into that. So we'll add it. Click on edit. Let's see if we can add the instance or okay, yeah. So here it says no available VMs. We'll see if our VMs are created or not. Okay, the second one is getting ready. Okay, I think the unmanaged instance 2 is failed because the resources default schedule already exists. I think as I'm using a lab account, maybe the quota for creating VMs have been exhausted. Maybe I'll delete all the instances that are part of MIG, because our MIG demo is already completed. So I'll remove this and then maybe create the VMs for unmanaged instance group. So let's go ahead and delete those. So first we need to delete the instance group, then only those VMs can be deleted. So click on this, click on delete. It will ask to write delete, and then click on delete. Okay, now all the VMs have been deleted now. Let's create couple of VM for our unmanaged instance group. So we'll click on create instance. Okay, we'll give the name as unmanaged one. Then we'll use n1 as a machine type. Let's say we use different OS for this. Let's say we use 11 for this and keep other thing as default. Click on create. Now let's create instance number 2. Meanwhile, the first one is getting created. For this, let's use E2, and in OS, for the last one, we used the 11. So let's say use 13 for this. Okay, 13 is not there, then maybe keep it as 12 because the last one we used 11. Okay, so the first one is created. Let's wait for second one to create it. Then we'll go ahead and create the unmanaged instance group, and we'll add both the instance to that group. Okay, now let's go ahead and create the unmanaged instance group. So click on create instance group. Select the new unmanaged instance group. So now as you can see, the VM instance part is the gray out. I'm not able to add my VMs that I created. So what could be the reason here? So first thing, you need to make sure the VM instance that you want to add in unmanaged instance group should be in the same zone as this instance group is getting created. So we are trying to create the instance group in US Central 1, and does our VM is in same zone or not? So let's check. I'll create one more. So we need to make sure the zone is same as the VM is. Then only you will able to add VMs, otherwise not. Okay, as you can see, my both the VMs are part of US Central 1C, and the US and the instance group zone is selected as 1A. So let's just change that to 1C, and see now you can see the gray out option is now changed, and you have option to select VM. So we'll select both the VMs, click OK, and click on create. So this is how you can create unmanaged instance group. Okay, now the unmanaged instance group is created. I'll show you one feature. As we already know, unmanaged instance group doesn't support auto scaling. So let's just try to delete the VM manually and see if it auto creates the new VM or not. So let's just try to delete this VM. Click on more action. Let's say we'll delete the first instance, unmanaged instance number 1. So eventually the unmanaged instance group should not be creating new instance, because it is part of unmanaged instance group, and unmanaged instance group does not support auto scaling. Now as you can see that our unmanaged instance 1 is deleted, and unmanaged instance group did not created the new instance for that, because unmanaged instance group does not support auto scaling. So that's the difference between managed and unmanaged instance group. So this covers everything that I wanted to show you. Let's just recap what we have learned in this session. So we have started with instance group. What is instance group? Then there are two types of instance group. One is managed and another one is unmanaged. Then there are benefits of using unmanaged instance group. Does it supports high availability? If the VM instance is deleted by manually or due to some reason, the instance group will automatically create it. It supports zonal and regional support. It can be used with load balancer, and there are so many other features that I have explained about managed instance group. And managed instance group is mostly used in our production environment because it supports high availability, reliability, and everything it supports. In the other hand, unmanaged instance group is mostly used in dev and QA environment because it doesn't support high availability. So if those instance does not required, uh, if those instance is not that critical to our environment, then you can use unmanaged instance group. Otherwise, you have to use managed instance group only. And at the end, I've explained to like what is instance template, why we need instance template, what is the use of using instance template. And in our demo part, I've shown you how we can create instance template, and then how we can create the instance group, and how the VMs are automatically created in MIG. And for unmanaged instance group, you have to manually create the VMs, and then in unmanaged instance group, you need to add those VM. And if any VM get deleted in unmanaged instance group, it will not automatically recreate the instance because it doesn't support the auto scaling feature. So I think that's all I had for today's session. Let me know in comments what you thought about this video, or do you have any queries still? So please comment on this.